The Athletics cleanup hitter is on another power streak. Chris Davis has 4 big flies in 4 days. After missing some time in May, the strong right-handed swinging designated hitter has found his stroke. No field is too big for Davis, and his underappreciated power is something not to be missed. Since joining the Green and Gold in 2016, KD has hit 102 long balls, the most in the majors. Davis and his power stroke take on the Royals. Game 3 next. It's a beautiful Saturday afternoon for baseball here in Oakland. We're at the Coliseum. The A's trying to make it 3 in a row over the Royals. It'll be Danny Duffy for Kansas City, and Chris Bassett is going to get the start for the A's. It's the Oakland A's and the Kansas City Royals coming up on NBC Sports California, powered by Xfinity. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Oakland A's baseball. Along with Dallas Braden, I'm Glenn Kuiper. A good win for the A's last night. 7-2 was the final. Chris Davis with a couple of home runs. Dallas, it looks like he's getting in one of those I'm going to hit some home runs moods, and we like that.
I'm ready for that kind of mood. I tell you what, while Chris Davis was absent, the team hitting under 200. As he comes back, the team near that 300 mark, and you can see why. You insert a guy with a power threat like Chris Davis, and the entire lineup starts to gain length. You start stringing hits together, run-scoring opportunities present themselves, and KD takes advantage.
All right, now this afternoon, Trevor Cahill was scheduled to start for the A's. A little bit of an ankle injury, not considered serious, so Chris Bassett called up. He'll make the start today, and he's been waiting for this for a while.
He has. He's been down in Nashville working on things, trying to iron some things out. He was down there in the bullpen, and after he was called up and sent back down, went on to make 7 starts, and he's coming back, and you said it, Kipe, looking to take control of some opportunities that have presented themselves in the starting rotation.
And Chris Bassett will be opposed by Danny Duffy. Good left-hander, but not having a good year. Duffy is 2-6 with a 5.81 ERA. We'll see how Danny Duffy throws today against the Athletics. So game 3 of the 4-game series on a Saturday afternoon in Oakland. We'll have lineups and first pitch right after this.
The grind that comes through every time. See your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota. Let's go places. By Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by Jack in the Box. Try Jack's Spicy Chicken Club Combo with toasted sourdough. New from Jack in the Box.
All right, so Chris Bassett leads the A's out onto the field. Sunshiny day here at the Coliseum. So game 3 of the 4-game series. Let's take a look at the weather for today. It's presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is open daily. Put it on. 67 degrees, so it's not super warm, but lots of sunshine. So that gentleman's prepared.
Yep.
A breezy afternoon. But we like day games here at the Coliseum. So let's take a look at the lineup for the visiting Kansas City Royals, brought to you by Southwest Airlines, and here it is. Whit Merrifield's in center field. Mike Moustakas is at first. Salvador Perez is your catcher. Alex Gordon is in the cleanup spot today. Then it's Hunter Dozier, who's going to play right field. Escobar's at short. Ryan Goins will be your second baseman. Orlando is the DH, and Ramon Torres gets to start at third base.
And they are taking on Chris Bassett, making his 2018 debut for the Green and Gold, shaking off some of that rust from UCL surgery he had back in 2016. Spent some time early in the bullpen this year with Nashville. Talked about him being recalled. Didn't make an appearance while here with Oakland. Sent back down. Got his pitch count up, made 7 starts, and finds himself back on the bump here at the Coliseum, looking to take advantage of an opportunity.
All right, your defense for the A's today. Chad Pinder's in left, Mark Canha is in center, and Stephen Piscotty is in right. Chapman, Simeon, Lowry, and Olsen on the infield, and Josh Fegley gets to start behind the plate. So Bassett finishes up his warm-up tosses, and we are set for baseball. See if the A's can make it 3 in a row over the Kansas City Royals. A's won last night by a final score of 7-2. They won on Thursday night by a final score of 4-1. So we have seen some excellent pitching by the Athletics in this series, and we'll see if Bassett can keep it going. Bassett, tall guy, 6'5", 220 pounds. He's 29 years old. And his first pitch to Whit Merrifield is in for a strike at 93 miles an hour. That's Tony Randazzo stretching out and calling balls and strikes. Bill Wilkie's the crew chief. He's at first. Barrett at second. Barber is at third.
You saw there 93 out of the hand of Bassett early, anywhere from 90, 94. Cut it, sink it.
That one hit up the middle, over the bag, and into center field for a base hit. So the first hitter of the game, Whit Merrifield, hits one hard up the middle. So the leadoff man is aboard, and here's Moustakas.
Batting in the second position.
Well, first pitch fastball for strike one. Tries to come right back with that same pitch. You can see elevated. Fegley goes up in the zone for it. Just something out over the plate that Merrifield's able to handle. Right back up through the box.
So Bassett will face Moustakas. Bassett was acquired from the White Sox on December 9th, 2014. That was the Jeff Samardzija trade, when Samardzija went from the A's to the White Sox. Marcus Simeon part of that deal. Yeah. Line drive grabbed by Chapman. He fires to first, but it's going to be late. So good positioning that time, as Chapman was playing a shallow shortstop spot, and that ball was lined right at him.
We talk a lot about moving guys around, pitchers being able to execute a game plan, pitching to the shift here. Fastball away, shoots it over to left side of the field, and you got Chappie there. Potential gold.
So with one out, here's Salvador Perez. First pitch is a strike. So Dallas, Chris Bassett's been, this is his 4th year within the A's organization, and I think the question still, me, is he a starter or is he a reliever?
And he finds himself in that gray area. You know, you're dealing with injury, you're dealing with some things at the big league level that you don't necessarily control. And it's about finding your spot and just being able to perform when you get the opportunity. So, again, started off in the bullpen in Nashville, pitched well, finds himself up here for reinforcement purposes, sent back down, stretched out in an effort to start because of what's going on at the big league level.
Well, he's got good stuff. He's a hard thrower. Back in 2016, it was the fastball 59% of the time. Curve and slider a fair amount. The last time he pitched in the big leagues was April 28th of 2016. So it has been a long road back.
In a while.
That one's hit high in the air toward Piscotty and right. He waits and he makes the catch. So the last win for Chris Bassitt,
Batting in the 4th position.
we got to go back to August 4th, 2015. Now he only has a couple big league wins.
And he threw well. 7 shutout innings against Baltimore.
In fact, that is his only big league win as a member of the Athletics. He had a win for the White Sox in 2014. First pitch to Gordon is a little bit low. Last year he pitched at Stockton in Nashville, still coming back from injury. He made 7 starts in Stockton. Then he went to Nashville and he made 2 starts and 15 relief appearances. So that kind of leads to the point of where is he better suited? And I think the A's are still trying to figure that out.
Yeah, and after he went down this year to Nashville, he went back
Same
and made
thing, back and
exactly
forth.
7 starts as well. I mean, he's one of those guys where with his stuff, there's no doubt that in a shorter body of work, his stuff could play up as a bullpen arm, a potential back into the bullpen arm. Maybe somebody give you multiple innings, but you'd like to see if this is a guy who can put it together for you. 5, 6, 7 innings. That's another weapon. That's another horse in the stable.
And that hit Alex Gordon. Just got him with the fastball inside.
Trying to bring that pitch
Batting in the
back
5th
over the
position.
inside part of the plate against the lefty.
Number 17. Hunter
And Bassitt holds on to it just a little too long. You can see the lower part of the jersey there from Gordon blouse out.
Exmo brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. So I think what we're both saying is you take a long look at an arm like Bassitt's as a starter before you move him to the bullpen.
Yeah, and if he's healthy and you have the opportunity to give him a couple looks, a couple turns during the rotation, that's what you want to do, because ultimately you have the belief that he'll be able to figure it out in the bullpen. But you'd like to really test him and see if this is something, as I said, he can figure out how to put together a game plan and execute over the course of an entire ball game, 6, 7+ innings.
Well, he last pitched in the minor leagues on Saturday, so he's well rested. He pitched 4 innings in that game. Good curve, and it's 0-2. 2 on, 2 out. Hunter Dozier is the hitter. Merrifield at second, Gordon at first. Lowry trying to keep Merrifield close. Tried another breaking ball and it spins high.
See the high leg kick. Separation with that front side. And you can see that glove, the glove side almost touching the ground. Pay attention to that. Make sure he's able to keep that front side firm and on line long enough to allow him to work downhill and sort of down through the baseball instead of underneath the baseball. And I think that's what happened with that curveball. Got a little quick on the front side. Shoots out of the back of your hand.
Both runners go. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. So Bassitt strikes out Dozier, and the Royals strand a pair in the top of the first.
A's fans, relax. Take a break with the perfect pastime. Nice cold Corona in A's baseball. Enjoy this sports highlight break right now. Brought to you.
Simeon back to the top. And then it's Canna, Lowry, Davis, Olsen, Chapman, Piscotti, Pinder, and Fegley.
They are taking on the southpaw, Danny Duffy. See there, 2-6, 5.81 ERA on the year. Over 69 2/3 innings. Lively fastball from the left-hander. Can be erratic at times, but is really starting to trust that fastball and move it around. Talking to Rex Hudler, he's Kansas City Royals color commentator, said that's what he's kind of seen out of Danny Duffy the last few times out.
And he's been pitching better after a rough start. He's got good stuff.
Well, there's
his
no
record
question.
should not be 2-6, and his ERA should not be 5.8.
Yeah, he can pitch. There's no doubt. But again, when you're talking to Rex and guys across the game,
Line drive down the right field line, but it's going to be foul.
fastball command so paramount.
Hey, today, any 95-mile-per-hour fastball is our fast pitch, brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest Wi-Fi at home and on the go. Canada follow, and then Lowry. Escobar scoops it up, throws to first. So one away here in the bottom of the first, defensively for the Royals. Gordon is a Gold Glover, he's in left. Merrifield in center, Dozier's in right. Torres at third, Escobar another Gold Glover. At short, Goins and Moustakas on the right side. Perez also has a Gold Glove. No surprise there. So here's Canna. Canna, the center fielder today, hitting right at 250. He's got 7 home runs and 20 RBIs. Duffy pours a strike in there. Duffy is 29 years old, 6'3", 205. Third-round pick of the Royals back in 2007. So there's the better numbers in his last 3 starts, facing Texas, Minnesota, and the Angels. He's got a career record of 47 and 49.
Actually, he earned his first career win here, 6th start of his career. First win at the Coliseum, June 14, 2011.
And he was part of the staff when the Royals won the World Series in 2015. He made 24 starts that year. Good season in 2016. He was 12-3. Kind of split time in the rotation and in the bullpen.
Yeah.
And he strikes out Mark Canna. So a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. So let's go back to that first win, 2011.
A young Danny Duffy, young southpaw, still toting around that mid to upper 90s fastball. Earned some hardware along the way.
Yep. Last year, Duffy was 9-10 with a 3.81 ERA. He made 24 starts. He was on the disabled list a couple times, so that shortened his season. But the Royals liked him enough. They gave him a long-term contract. He is in the second year of a 5-year contract, so they invested some money in Danny Duffy.
Well, and if you remember, young man Yordano Ventura was a part of that rotation. Kansas City Royals figured being able to lock up a guy like Duffy, pair him with a guy like Ventura.
Absolutely.
You've got a couple arms you can rely on moving forward as that rebuild started to take place.
That's right. Ventura, he had a long-term contract as well. 0-2 to Lowry, who's hitting .289 with 9 homers, 42 runs batted in, and an 0-2 fastball at 95 miles an hour. So good first inning for Danny Duffy. It'll be Escobar, Goins, and Paulo Orlando. Bassett, a couple of base runners in the first, but got out of the jam.
Talk about getting back to the big leagues and trying to iron things out while you're down in AAA. I think one of the biggest things you focus on when you're down there, staring up that ladder, trying to get back to the Grandes. You've got to be efficient within the strike zone. Talk about Bassett and the traffic, a couple runners last inning. If you can get ahead, show these guys he's going to be around the strike zone.
Canna over into left center. He's got it. And for the first time today, let's check in with Kara Subor. Kara.
Good afternoon, guys. I'm down here with Dave Cavill, president of the Oakland A's. And you might see a lot of Kelly Green caps in the stands today. Check these beauties out. This was the giveaway today to honor the 50th anniversary season, brought to 15,000 fans from Cache Creek. Nice looking hat, Dave.
It looks fantastic. It's the great Kelly Green. We want to see as many people in the community wearing the hats.
Absolutely. Love this color this year. Tomorrow, we've got a big day here at the ballpark, North Bay Day. Tell us about that.
Well, it's a great way for all those affected by the North Bay fires to come out and celebrate and have a great day of community and have free tickets here at the ballpark.
Free tickets, and I understand we're expecting more than 3,000 people here.
Yeah, 3,000 people. I think it's going to be a great celebration. We're excited to have everyone out. We have people throwing out the first pitch, first responders. Just a great way to have everyone out and really a sense of community around it.
That's right. North Bay Day also dovetails with Firefighter Appreciation Day. So we'll have some firefighters here too. So it's a great celebration and bring a little bright spot in what has been a troubling year for some of these people.
Absolutely. And this is a great way for sports and especially baseball to be a convener and allow people to come together and really have a shared experience around sports. So we're really proud to do it.
Absolutely. If you are a North Bay resident who needs to get your tickets, you can pick them up on the BART Plaza tomorrow before the game. And we'll see you here for what should be a great celebration. Well, thanks so much, Dave. Guys, back up to you.
All right, thanks, Carr. Thanks, Dave. What a great thing to do for the people
It is.
who had the hardships of the fires up in the North Bay this past off season. So, hey, anything you can do to give them a nice day.
That's right. You say thank you. Let them kind of take a load off, take a breath, reset.
It's a terrific idea by the Athletics.
Yes.
Ryan Goins with the one-out double into the right field corner, so the Royals threatening again. Paulo Orlando, 167 is his average. 9 hits and 54 at bats. Just got a piece of that one. 0-2.
0-2. Got a piece of that one, did Orlando, and got away with one, did Bassett there. 0-2. Like to see him try to expand down and away against Orlando. See the side swing there. Middle for Orlando.
Hit foul down the right field line. That's a good pitch. A little up and in.
Let's and now we're going to be able to work off of that, right? You got that fastball up, inner third, somewhere around the eyes, 95 miles an hour.
We got a hat catch? No, we got
to use your hands. Use your
hand catch.
You got 2 of them.
Nice play. Oh, 2. Just missed. Goins got mixed up at second base. He danced off so far that he was convinced Bassett was going to spin around and throw to second, so he went flying back into second base, and right about there the pitch was thrown.
Yeah, and you would expect Orlando to step out, call time.
So Goins was not going to get a good jump on a batted ball right there.
No.
The fact that you're headed back to right field is not a good
He stayed
start. Base hit center field. Here comes Goins. Canna picks it up, and Canna's not going to make a throw home. He'll just flip it back into second base. The right thing to do. And Orlando has an RBI single. The Royals lead 1-0.
In fact, we've seen him execute that fastball up. And this is, well, not quite high enough. 92. Again, center cut, and this is what these guys have done a good job of. You saw Merrifield earlier in the game take that pitch down the middle, right back up through the box. Same thing here with Orlando. Not trying to do any more than what they can with the pitch. If it's middle up, they shoot it right back up the box. Like to see Bassett start working back down in the zone.
Here's Ramon Torres. So PitchCast is brought to you by SoFi, a modern finance company. Torres is starting at third base. We've seen him a little bit this year against the A's. Of course, the A's in Kansas City last week, taking 2 out of 3 and winning the first 2 games of this series. Torres, a switch hitter from the Dominican Republic. Merrifield, the leadoff hitter, will be next. And Merrifield was running on the pitch, so that's why Torres kind of reached for it. No Jorge Soler today, and this is why. His talented right fielder for the Royals did that last night, and it hurt up here.
Oh, it did. He took it right off that big toe. And then Montas threw him a curveball right after. Looked very uncomfortable on the swing. Tried to come out. No chance.
And he had x-rays, which were negative, so it's no broken bones, but he was not moving around real well, and he came out of the game. So 1-2 the count. A run in for the Royals here in the second inning. Breaking ball that kind of hung up there. Torres waited and then fouled it back.
Well, you can see Kipe, he's just a little quick on the front side. He's just not giving himself enough time to get on top of that pitch, really pull that thing down. If he can shorten it up just a little bit, get on top of that thing, it's got some good down action. But he's got that long arm swing, that long stroke. For a guy like him with a lot of moving parts, it's important to be on time within your windup in an effort to repeat. It's like they're going change up.
Yeah, we showed you his windup last inning, and he reaches out with that glove arm, which you want to do
front side,
but he also reaches back a long ways. He is the opposite of a short armor.
It can get loopy at times, and that's what you have to be aware of. You have to be cognizant. Times you got to be your own pitching coach.
Off Fegley's glove, and Orlando's going to go to second.
Trying to throw that cutter in.
See, this is, watch how far he reaches out, which you're supposed to do, and he's a big guy too, 6'5". So,
and again, mechanics are all relative. Pitchers are like snowflakes. No two are the same. So for one guy, it might be mechanically beneficial for him to stay closed a little longer. For another individual, based on his hips and his ability to get over his lower half, maybe it's something where he does need to vacate a little earlier in order for the arm to come through.
Toward left center. Pinder can't come together, and Pinder has it. Pinder fires it back in. Torres is out, 2 away here in the top of the second inning. And that'll bring up Whit Merrifield, who led off
Number
the game
15,
with a base hit.
Whit Merrifield.
The Royals are 21-43 on the year. So it has been a struggle. That's the second worst record in the American League behind the Baltimore Orioles.
Well, Kipe, we talked about it yesterday. The pitching staff for the Kansas City Royals just hasn't quite gotten it done. Hasn't given them the opportunities to win ball games. And again, obviously a team going through a little bit of that rebuild phase.
Royals have lost 6 in a row. They're 11-22 on the road this year. Canna going back. Canna gets there, turns around, waits, and he grabs it. 1 run on 2 hits for the Royals. Bottom of the second, coming up 1-0 Kansas City.
ready. It's free BP jerseys for groups of 15 or more for select games on July 1st, July 31st, August 3rd, August 7th, August 22nd, and September 5th, with games against the Yankees, Dodgers, and others. Visit athletics.com/group for details.
A batting practice jersey.
Yeah.
That's a good giveaway.
Yeah,
it's like a new giveaway. It's a new idea.
I'm into that. Come out, get you some threads. You probably showed up today. You got your Kelly Green hat. I mean, you're a pair of stirrups away from the full uni.
A little bit of a concern that we haven't seen any of those Kelly Green hats up here in the booth just yet.
I think we've got somebody on it.
Let's hope so. Because I'd like to wear it tonight.
Rock one of those.
2-1 to Chris Davis. That's it right there. A young man is sporting it already. Kelly Green, that's popular. Stride to Chris Davis, 2-2. 17 home runs and 46 RBIs now for Chris Davis. 3 behind the league leader in home runs. That's J.D. Martinez. He's 4th in the league in RBIs. He drills that one up the middle. That's Goins, who was playing right up the middle, and he made a nice play.
So since May 14th, take a look at this. 15 games, 352 average, 3 doubles, 6 homers. Take a look at last night, the multi-homer game. But those numbers at the bottom of the screen, without the crusher, sub 200 average, below the Mendoza line, not even at the 300 clip mark for slugging. The power outage, and KD shows up and returns, almost 300, north of 500 slugging. The power arrives, the run scoring commences. I don't think it's any mystery. This offense is going to go as Chris Davis goes.
Yep, lifts everybody up a little bit. You judge a hitter on a couple different things. Obviously, first and foremost, production. Sure. Right? Yeah. Secondly, how does he affect the guys around him in the lineup?
And that's what you think when you think about prime time, big power hitters. The fact that the guy behind him is going to have opportunities, the guy in front of him is going to get pitches. That guy right in the middle, he's adding length. He directly affects the man in front of him, the man behind him, and as those individuals on either side start to go, that trickle effect occurs.
And that one is going to get through into center field for a hit. Olsen with a big turn. So the shift was on, and so the ball hit by Davis, the shift helped the Royals.
Yep.
That ball right there with a regular defense, it's probably an out.
It's probably a 4-3, but not the case. Pitch down in the zone for Ole, long arms. No problem going down and getting it. He takes that big turn, Kite, you mentioned around second because of the defense, or around first, excuse me, because of the defense and where they were at. I thought about taking 2.
So that'll bring up Matt Chapman. When we talk about Davis being hot, what about Matt Olson? Home run leaders since the 14th of May, Martinez, Benintendi, and Olson. And now 2-0 to Chapman.
We started to see Olson come out of it as he was using left field, using center field. And he's another guy in this lineup. You start to get him right, you start to get him going. Behind it, Chris Davis, Chapman and follow. We got some boppers.
So 3-0. Would Chapman have the green light? And that one called a strike. Looked like it may have been outside. Chapman is 3 for 7 in this series. And he walks. 2 on and 1 out.
This has been something that Duffy has struggled with over the course of his career. Command, we talked about at the top, can be a little erratic because had a good go over the last 3 starts, but as you see there, almost 4.5 walks per 9, 5th highest across baseball.
And that's 35 walks this year. And he's done that in 71 innings. Hunter Dozier backs up a little bit in right field. He's got it. Olsen tags. Olsen will head over to third, but now there are 2 outs. And it's up to Chad Pinder. Pinder is in left field today. Pinder this year has started games at 6 different positions. Left field, right field, second base, shortstop, center field, and third base. The most starts have come in left field. It's his 21st start.
A utility man by definition in trade.
Well, you know what? Yeah, third base, shortstop, second base. There's no question he could play first base if needed. Bounces this one to the right side. And it's right to Goins. Side retired. So the A's get a couple runners on, do not score. 1-0 Royals after 2.
Play for free and start your streak for a chance at 5.6 million big ones. Download Beat the Streak today.
All right. Whatever you say. Those youngsters with good seats.
Yeah. Fine day at the ballpark. Get a little ice cream in you.
Moustakas, Perez, and Gordon for the Royals here in the third. Moustakas hit a line drive to Chapman in the first inning. Chapman with the shift on, playing at the shortstop spot.
Here we are. You got the lefty up, leadoff hitter of the inning. Pretty much the entire left side of the infield has been given to him. We saw Joey Gallo last night drop down a bunt against Justin Verlander. Might have been the night before, but Verlander. I think guys with that kind of power, but with this kind of opportunity, start the inning.
So if you're going to do it, this would be a time to do it.
And I talk about it a lot because I really want to get into the mindset. I'd really like to know what takes a hitter out of the mindset if he say, he gets ahead here, counts 1-0. Now the idea of bunting is gone. He's taking his swings now, and the defense is still the same. The opportunity to put the bunt down, executed well, is still a single.
I just don't think hitters want to give up a chance to swing the bat.
And that's really all it boils down to. And I can't imagine that a hitter would rather hit a single through the teeth of a shift.
Pinder reaches down at the shoot tops and makes the catch.
And there's your utility man, Kite.
That's a nice play.
Out in left field, and that's what happens. If you're an athlete, we can find a spot for you, no doubt. In the Oakland A's have. Bob Melvin has done a tremendous job his entire tenure here as a skipper of the Oakland Athletics, plugging and playing guys, putting them in positions to succeed. Chad Pinder makes it easy on himself, being an athlete.
So Moustakas has hit a couple of line drives, has nothing to show for it. And here's Perez. Perez lines one foul. Heads up. This is Chad Pinder before the game now. Usually you just got your one glove, right? You're good, but he has so many different gloves. He's got to put them all in a bag.
Yeah, he quite literally has a tool belt.
Yeah, and you know what? There may be a catcher's mitt in there. Seriously.
I mean, it can be done.
Yeah. Good pitch by Bassett. 0-2 to Perez, who hit a fly ball to right field in the first.
And that right there, that's a good look at the plane and the angle on that fastball that you like to see out of the hand of Bassett.
Lowry looking up. And Jed Lowry backpedaling quickly, reaches back to make the catch. So 2 outs here in the third.
Well, this is a fastball higher than high, up in the zone, up and out of the zone. Great location, especially for a guy like Salvador Perez. 2 strikes in swing mode.
Gordon.
You got him there with a well-located fastball down and in. Now he sees something up in the zone, thinks he can handle it. It looks appetizing. It's a great job by Bassett to expand.
Gordon bounces one foul at the plate. Gordon hit by a pitch in the first. Had 3 hits last night. He was 3 for 4. Let's get a piece of Fegley.
I think he might have a little cutter here.
Oh,
on the backswing. Gordo.
So the foul ball got Gordon pretty good. The backswing got Fegley. Umpire the only one that's okay in this group.
You say 2 birds, 1 stone?
Ooh.
It's a good looking curveball there from Bassett. Did a great job of getting ahead early. That tidy little slider. Speed him up with the heater, slow him down with that curveball. He can go a couple different ways here.
That's Simeon out on the grass, and that's a 3-up, 3-down inning for Chris Bassett, his first of the afternoon. Bottom of the third coming up.
A's fans, come check out newly renovated. Number 19, Josh Begley.
Well, stick with the team you've been with all season long for the best parade coverage in the business. Why watch the parade anywhere but on the home of the authentic world champion Warriors fan, NBC Sports Bay Area, streaming live on the NBC Sports app. The parade will be Tuesday, and our coverage starts at 9:30 a.m. So the championship parade, third in the last 4 years for the Warriors, who, I'm to say I read they are probably in the air right now. Scheduled to land here in Oakland around 3:30 from Cleveland. That's probably a pretty good flight to be on.
Happy flight.
That would be,
no doubt.
That would be a happy flight. We talk about a happy flight in baseball when you win the final game of the series, whether it helps you win the series. We're talking about win the getaway game, and it just makes the flight a little more relaxed.
It's more bearable.
But when you win the world championship and then fly home the next day, that's got to be quite a feeling.
Got that shiny trophy.
Yep. It's got a seat by itself.
You know you got a ring coming.
1-2 to Begley. Man, that's a good changeup. 83 miles an hour. Third strikeout for Danny Duffy.
That's great arm speed from the southpaw.
How about
93, 95 with the fastball. 83 miles an hour on the changeup. Nice 10-mile-an-hour reduction in speed. And again, the key for you changeup artists out there is maintaining fastball arm speed and hand speed. That's what the hitter is cueing off of. That's what the hitter picks up. Anytime you try to slow that down, very noticeable for the hitter from the side at the plate. So you keep that same fastball arm speed and hand speed, more times than not, you'll end up on the right side of the battle.
Looking at Duffy's starts this year, and again, we're still trying to figure out why his ERA is at 5.81. He's had a couple of real clunkers. The kind that puts your ERA in an area where it may take a month to get it back down.
Right.
In Detroit on the 21st of April, he gave up 6 earned runs in 4 2/3 innings, so that's not good. But then he was at Cleveland on the 13th of May. He gave up 9 earned runs in 3 1/3 innings. So that's 2 really bad starts that probably blew up your ERA by a run and a half. That one is lined down the left field line, and it is foul. A very loud foul ball.
Very loud strike, as pitchers like to say. Just a loud strike, that's all. But Simi, atta baby, get the foot down, get the head out. He's moving it over. He's getting there. He's working his way to the fair pole.
Two and two to Marcus. Strike 3 called at the knees, and that's strikeout number 4. Marcus doesn't argue a whole lot. But that looks like a strike.
Center fielder, number 20.
Perez almost carried it out of the strike zone, then pulled it back up.
He did. He rode it out of the zone a little bit, and I think as Simeon takes that look back, he sees Perez's glove down there and is thinking, I don't know if that's a strike here. You and I can talk about this.
So 2 outs for Mark Canha. Well, what PitchCast does give us is really how far the catcher is back from home plate, and how different it can be where the pitch crosses home plate to where the catcher catches it. I mean, it's probably, you know, we're talking 3 feet, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing to keep in mind.
2.5, 3 feet maybe?
Right. One thing to keep in mind for the folks at home, the viewers at home, that strike zone is 3-dimensional. So you think about pitches dropping into the top or from the top of the strike zone, that doesn't necessarily occur. It's sort of like a cone. You think about that square, and it's sort of becoming to a point towards the back end.
See, he caught that ball really right off the ground, but it was also a lot of sinking action to it, and it really did not miss the strike zone by a lot, according to our pitchcast, our square.
Exactly, and I think that's why you see folks at home and they hear and they say, man, I'd love to have a robot ump. Well, I tell you, there'd be a lot of conversations the first month or so.
Three and two to Marcana, who struck out in the first. Payoff pitch, here it is, and a changeup that stays way outside. So 2 walks for Danny Duffy. Well, Xfinity X1 customers say, show me the Oakland A's in your X1 voice remote and get live stats on your TV. Change the way you experience TV with Xfinity X1. So here's Lowry. A's looking to a little 2-out rally. Lowry struck out in the first. Jed now 0 for 9 with 4 strikeouts in this series.
Jed's a guy you'd like to see iron those kinks out. See, they're hot at the beginning of the season, sort of fizzled out later in the month of May, and hasn't quite gotten it back on track as of late, early here in the month of June.
Goins flips to first. A's get a 2-out walk, nothing else. We're through 3 from the Coliseum. 1-0 Royals. Royals with a 1-0 lead. That run came in the second inning. So they will send up Dozier, Escobar, and Goins here in the fourth against Chris Bassett, who's thrown 44 pitches. Giving up 3 hits. He's got 1 strikeout. First pitch is a touch low. And the Mariners and the Rays are underway in St. Petersburg. Rays with an early 4-1 lead over Seattle. That game in the 3rd inning. Toward Olsen, trots to the bag, 1 away. So Dozier is 0 for 2.
I believe King Felix on the mound for the Seattle Mariners, just having a rough go of it this year.
Yeah, he's got a record of 6-4, but the ERA is very high. And the Mariners are facing Snell, who's pretty darn good. 7-3, the young left-hander for the Rays.
Yeah.
So the Mariners in first place by 1 game in the West. Winners of 7 out of their last 8, but they're trailing early at Tropicana Field.
And that pitch right there for Bassett is going to be huge. Huge for a couple reasons. One, We saw him go to that pitch against Gordon early in the count for strike one and then later in the count for contact. So if he can show the ability to throw that pitch over the course of an outing for strikes, he'll be able to expand like he did against Gordon later in the bat and get that soft contact. But you've got to throw it early and often for strikes in the game if you're going to plant that seed and get outs later working off of that pitch.
2-0 to Alcides Escobar. Escobar hit a fly ball to center field in the second inning. And now it's 3-0. Straightaway defense for Escobar. Escobar has a home run in this series. That's his only hit. He's 1 for 8.
Does have some history against Bassett. 4 for 10.
And he takes high, so a 1-out base runner for the Royals.
Well, Jurassic World fireworks will roar like a T-Rex through the sky as the A's host the Los Angeles Angels on Friday, June 15th. Presented by Ray Morgan Company, fans can enjoy the post-game fireworks from the outfield grass, set to the music of the Jurassic Park movies. Bring your pack of Raptors and enjoy the show. Visit athletics.com/fireworks for details. Bring them all.
Friday, June 15th.
Raptors, Triceratops, all inclusive.
Can you name them all?
I can. I cannot.
Usually my head under the covers when I'm watching it. It's a little scary. Did they get the out at second? No, they did not, but they get the out at first. So Chapman went to second, and it was a very close play. And Escobar called safe, but these did get 1 out.
Well, it's a heck of an effort by Chapman. Ooh, very close, speedy Escobar. You see Chapman
Now batting.
obviously trusts his arm, trusts his hands. A little aggressive, and I don't mind the error on the side of aggression, trying to get 2 there. Goins who can move down the line well. They were able to pick that out up, so while I appreciate the effort, still able to get the out. That's important. You got 2 outs.
Now you got to get Paulo Orlando, who had an RBI hit in the second inning. This one foul off the target. Not a great effort down the left field line there. It is a day game. And he did, in the end, make the right decision. The youngster is going home happy.
Baby.
He's got his free giveaway hat. And the last clip.
Yeah.
As small as you can get it. I'd like to see a little better effort, Dallas. That's all. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I concur wholeheartedly. He's looking to play the carom here, but really it's just lazy. I think the third deck and the sun is getting to him. Talk about a high sky. That ball's on the ground. Got to make that play.
Doesn't look like he wants to play today.
No.
We'll find a spot for him right at the end of the bench,
Yep,
right?
that's
Let's
right.
go. Simeon across the diamond, throws wide, and the runner is out. Throw to the plate, not necessary, as Olsen was able to tag Orlando at first, so the Royals are going to want to check it. So that's interesting because they called him out at home.
Well, they called him out at home, Kai, but you can tell here they missed him over at first base, but I believe we've got a ruling at first base that has him out. And if they go to the replay, this will be overturned at first base.
But what happens
the play
at the play at home?
That's right, the play at the plate, we're going to go ahead and ring him up.
So he is, ooh, that's close, but he is, now remember, he was called out at the plate.
Yeah. If he's safe at first, they will overturn it. Or excuse me, if he was ruled out at first, they will overturn it. He will be ruled safe, but the play at the plate occurred. He's out at home plate, if you ask me. the A's are going to go in and hit.
So correct me if I'm wrong, then this is kind of a lose-lose situation for the Royals.
Go ahead and pack it in. That's exactly where I'm coming from. Pack it in. Doesn't matter.
Well, let's see what the umpires do here. Again, he was called out at first and out at home.
Correct.
But the replay showed that it looked like he was probably safe at first. Did
Yeah.
Olsen get him at all?
So Olsen comes nowhere near him at first base, and after the out call, the replay will show he's safe. But now, the play at home plate, he is called out initially.
And the question there is, was he out? So they may want to look at both plays.
I mean, they'll see very early that that first play renders the runner safe at first base. But the only play, frankly, that matters is the play at the plate now. And I think
that one is close.
And I think he caught him on the lower leg there before Escobar's foot is able to come across the plate.
So two umpires looking at the
and you see
headsets on the other two umpires talking about Melvin.
You see the hand gestures and the pointing, and that can let you know, all right, so the guy at first was called out, but now he's safe. All right, so the guy at home was called out, and if he's still out, then we're good.
So they're challenging both calls on the field, which makes perfect. You got, if you're going to challenge the one at first, you got to challenge the one at home.
Well, you have to challenge the one at first because that's what allows the inning to continue.
The Royals are
And
challenging
if he's safe there,
both
now you
players on
might,
the
who
field.
knows?
Both
You might get a
on the first
run.
base and one at home. They're challenging
See, there's the
both
close play at home, so that's a very, very close play. See, the tag, he's just touching him. The question is the left foot on home plate? It's a big call.
Yo, big call, big time.
Let's take a good, this is a good look. Left foot. We're going to help you out here a little bit. The guys in the truck doing a terrific job. Boy, that is tough. Remember, he was called out.
Correct.
That may be the saving grace for the A's, that the original call was out.
Just don't see enough to overturn it, Kite. Remember, back in New York, they've got multiple angles, multiple cameras working.
You don't see two reviews or a request for two reviews really on the same play.
Right, not very often. And unfortunately, what we're going to see here is a lack of an explanation to the fans at home, on television, to the folks in the stands as well. And this is where baseball needs to get it together, in my opinion. This is where they have to pick it up, because you're going to have about 15, 20,000 people who have no idea what's going on in-house. And those folks at home are not going to have an explanation of what's going on as well, other than you and I sitting here talking about it. So I'd like to see baseball make a concentrated effort to keep the fans in the loop. You have an opportunity to educate these fans right now and to keep them in the fold of the game action. Because right now, somebody's up catching a snack because they have no idea what's going on. And again, you can see the umpires pointing and trying to figure it out. He's safe at first, guys. And he's... Oh, he's out! Go get your snack, folks. He's out.
All right, let's see what they say.
Safe at first.
Home, out. So that's the end of the inning. So the call was overturned at first, upheld at home, and the Royals do not score.
Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans.
Bottom of the fourth inning from the Coliseum on a beautiful day. A crazy way to end the top of the fourth inning. Royals did not score. The play ended up being, Dallas, an E6 to allow Orlando to get to first. And the out then 3-2 at home plate.
Not very often do you see two plays challenged at the same time. Runner at first, runner at home.
No, not very often. One of them gets overturned. 1-2 to Chris Davis. Olsen to follow, and then Chapman here in the fourth inning.
The review took 3 minutes, 37 seconds.
They had 2 plays to look at.
Fair enough. Got to cut up some slack sometime, right?
A little slack. We don't always do that. We'll cut up a little slack. And it was an important call.
You talk about momentum. You're either going into the dugout with momentum or you're staying out on the field battling it.
So Duffy strikes out Chris Davis. That is strikeout number 5 for Danny Duffy.
You do what you want.
Well, fastball usage. Trust in it, believe in it. 92 to 95 from the left side. Go ahead and use it, and that's what Danny Duffy does. Salvador Perez tucked there inside on the hip pocket of KD, and Danny Duffy lights it up. Well executed heater on the inner half and just beats KD to a spot.
Here's Olsen, who had a base hit in the second inning. First pitch, breaking ball on the outside corner, first strike. Olsen hit a ball, hard ground ball into right center field for his hit. 2 for 8 now in the series with a home run.
A rare lefty against Danny Duffy. Duffy has not faced a left-handed batter in 4 of the 13 starts he's made.
So teams are loading up right-handed hitters on Duffy.
Yeah, and lefty's hitting just .231 against Duffy, 12 for 52.
But that's not a dominant number.
No, it's not.
It's not that 180 or 170 you see sometimes with a nasty left-hander.
Just see a couple reasons here why 94, 95. We talk about the ability to run it up there.
Lots of home runs allowed for Duffy.
Throws that slider cutter down and away. Looks like Ole might have got one here.
And that pitch right on the outside corner, strike 3 call. So that is strikeout number 6. Calling all artists. It's the inaugural Battle of the Bay Art Show. Go to NBCSportsCalifornia.com/Battle of the Bay Art to enter for a chance to get your Giants or A's artwork featured at the Bay Bridge Series. All mediums accepted. Cannot wait to see your work. Fastball inside to Chapman. Chapman walked in the second inning. You know what's happening with Danny Duffy? There's a lot of scouts watching him.
Sure.
Think about Danny Duffy, who is still pretty young at 29 years old. He's got a long-term contract. So if you're a team in contention,
well, and
they'll make some offers to the Royals. Gordon's going to play it on a hop. So 2-out single for Chapman.
What you have in Danny Duffy, and you mentioned it, Kipe, is a guy who can start ball games, can relieve ball games. So here tries to bust Chappie with the heater in. Was able to freeze Ole with that heater away down glove side against the lefty. Tries to run it in here glove side against the righty. Not so much. Chappie's able to get to it. Gordo lays back. Takes it on a hop.
Pinder with a good rip. So if you were a team in contention and you like Danny Duffy enough, you would have him not just this year, but you'd have him for 3 more years after this year. Now that can be a good thing if he's pitching well.
Absolutely.
If he's scuffling around, then not so. So that's the chance you take.
And you know,
but his name's been out there in trade rumors for a year now.
But I always tend to think with pitchers, and these are the guys that it becomes an arms race come the second half of the baseball season, right? You're looking for ways to fortify your bullpen, shore up a rotation potentially. And when you have a guy like Danny Duffy who can serve both purposes,
that's true.
Whether or not he's pitching well at a time, somebody else is going to need an arm just like that. And somebody else might be willing to take that chance that you took the year before on that same individual. And that gives you an opportunity as a team who might have thought they were in it, finds himself on the outside looking in, to shore up your minor league organization via some prospects that you could fetch for an arm like Danny Duffy.
One and two to Piscotty. Rolls that one toward the shortstop, who will go across to first. So a 2-out hit for Chapman, nothing else for the Athletics. We're moving to the fifth. The Royals leading 1-0.
Is brought to you by the Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid, America's first hybrid minivan. Test drive one today.
So Chris Bassett back to work here in the fifth inning with the Royals leading 1-0. And for just joining us, Chris Bassett was brought up from the minor leagues, taking Trevor Cahill's spot in the rotation. Well, I shouldn't say taking his spot, because Cahill was not put on the disabled list. But Trevor, says ankle, Achilles a little bit sore.
Yeah, a little issue with the wheel. Just want to be cautious. Make sure he's nice and stable, nice and healthy. Again, you want to take any chances, especially with a pitcher. Everything works from the ground up. Your feet, your legs.
So the A's did not put Cahill on the disabled list. They sent Nick Martini back to the minor leagues when they brought up Bassett. So Bob Melvin today has just two bench players, Fowler and Lucroy.
Yeah.
And that's strike three call. Torres knew it. So that is strikeout number 2 for Bassett. Let's check in with Kara, who I believe is with Uncle Townie.
That's right, guys. A very familiar face and voice, of course. Chris Townsend, 95.7. He does the pre and post for the Athletics, the Warriors, the Raiders. But we want to talk to you about the Warriors. Incredible historic run. You were at Roracle last night. What does this championship mean for the franchise and the fans?
They just cemented themselves as one of the great dynasties. I mean, when you think about where the Warriors are, winning 3 out of 4, and in modern day sports with free agency, absolutely amazing. And they're so big. We're just not talking about the United States of America. They're a global brand now, and it's what a treat, because some of us who covered the Warriors years ago, how bad it used to be, to think that they're a global brand now is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I understand fans fly in and just take their photos in front of the arena because they want to be part of this phenomenal run they're on. So it's cool to see for the fans.
Yeah, and no one would have thought, and last night to see all the fans, I mean, who would have ever thought you could put 18,000 people in an arena where there's no game, there's no players, but it was just exciting to be a part of it, and I'm just thankful for my career. It's just an absolute blast.
So moving forward just a couple days, Tuesday we've got the big parade. How are you involved with the parade this year? I'll
be hosting all the parade coverage on 95.7, the flagship station for the Warriors, and we'll be on from 10 to 3, and we're going to celebrate with the players, and there's a big party after, and then back to A's. I'm excited. I love the Warriors, but we'll be back to doing 100% A's after Tuesday. All
right, so starting Wednesday against the Astros, you will be here with us until, I guess, the Raiders start back up, right?
Until Raiders season, so we'll be back to all A's. But what an exciting run. It's been unbelievable watching this Warrior team. And you know what? They're a great group of guys, too. That's what also makes it so special.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for bringing us the front seat coverage. We appreciate that perspective, but we're excited to have you back. Can't wait for all A's all summer.
But you're the best. Come on.
Thanks, Chris Townsend. Guys, back up to you.
All right, thanks, Carr and Uncle Townie. His nickname is Uncle Townie. Well, there's a number of different reasons. He's a lot older than us, so we call him Uncle Townie. I'm sure everybody knows that is why he has the nickname of Uncle Townie.
Elder statesman.
Yes.
Just tip of the cap to the older folks.
Does a great job. Does a lot of his pregame radio stuff from the treehouse.
He's got a perch up there.
Yep, stop by and say hi. Stockis takes inside. So back-to-back strikeouts for Bassett here in the 5th inning.
And on old Uncle Charlie, too. Kaiby's got that curveball working down in the zone. And we talked about how important it was going to be for him to throw that cutter and that curveball 4 strikes.
Canna's there. Canna grabs it. So a 3-up, 3-down inning for Bassett. We are headed to the bottom of the 5th.
NBC Sports California is brought to you by SoFi, a modern finance company.
So right now the Royals leading the A's 1-0. He's come bat here in the bottom of the 5th with Pinder, Fegley, and Simeon. Hopefully a couple more against Danny Duffy. So Duffy's been impressive. He's got 6 strikeouts in 4 innings, and he's allowed just 2 hits.
He's done a good job with the fastball changeup combination. Weak contact late in the counts with the changeup. In the head with the fastball.
1-1 the count. Pinder grounded out to the second baseman Goins, his first at bat. Swing and a miss. So that's a good pitch right there. 94. Just a little up.
When he's
above the hand.
That's right. He's moving it around, Kipe, and you know that's not just throwing baseballs inner third, outer third. You got 4 quadrants you slice that strike zone into.
And then a changeup at 84 miles an hour.
And that's right. Different pitch, different location. Fastball down and in. Changeup, fastball up. I mean, he's just done a great job of being unpredictable.
Number 19.
And here ahead of the count, nice 4-seam rotation on that fastball, off of the 4-seam fastball. Look, heater 1, heater 2, heater 3, pulls the string.
Well, that's a great shot right there. And I guess what you would want, as Fegley grounds out, I guess what you'd want is to have the outside of the strike zone covered, but nothing right in the middle.
No,
and there was nothing in the middle.
Nothing in the middle. You can see there, living off that fastball, 38% fastball, 31% changeup. So that tells you right now the back and forth game. Speed them up, slow them down. Speed them up, slow them down. Put them in that rocking chair. Change eye level with the heater, expand down with the breaking ball, and you're in action.
First pitch is high. Marcus Simeon has grounded out, and he has struck out looking. Missed again, so 2-0. The 2 hits for the A's: Olsen, a 1-out single in the 2nd. Chapman, a 2-out single in the 4th. So not much going on offensively. A little pop-up. Going to be a tough play, and what a play by Ryan Goins. That's a good play. Looked like it was going to drop for sure, but Goins, who's pretty good defensively, made a terrific play. We think it's worth another look. 6th inning coming up.
Ladies and gentlemen, please present to the A's opening. As it's time for the National number.
Sixth inning from the Coliseum. Chris Bassett making his first big league appearance since way back in April of 2016, and he's been good.
Moving right along. Take a look at the pitch count. 66 pitches here to start the 6th inning.
So he has to be thrilled with the way the day has gone so far.
See how he's gone about his business. Again, another steady dose of the heater slider combination, curveball as well, and we talked about it at the onset. Coming back up from 3A, you want to come up here, you want to fill the strike zone up early and often. You want to show the ability to use all of your pitches, mix your pitches, any count. He's done a good job of settling in.
That one's hit well to center. Canna hustling back. Canna near the wall, just enough room, makes the catch. Well hit ball by Salvador Perez. So one out here in the 6th.
Number 4, Alex Gordon.
Canna, Fowler with the day off. Feeling for the wall, searching. Plenty of room.
Yep. One away for Alex Gordon. The most pitches Bassett threw in any of his 10 appearances, 7 starts, 3 relief appearances in Nashville was 91. So he right now is sitting at 69, so he's okay.
Yeah, and that was, again, that was the objective. Go down, make those starts, stretch yourself out. So that way that phone rings. Your name on that list. He finds himself here in Oakland. 2018 debut.
Well, it's been ringing this year for the Athletics. And I say that this is the 11th starter the A's have used this year. And remember, this is only game number 65. Right. So they've had to use a lot. In fact, the only team that has used more starters this year, and you can put an asterisk next to this, is the Rays. And we know what they've been doing occasionally with the relievers starting. So
it's Sergio Romo making 3 starts in 9 days.
Starts. In fact, in the last 7 games, Dallas, 7 different starters for the A's.
Wow.
2-2 to Gordon, who has been hit by a pitch, and he has grounded out. He swings and misses, and that is strikeout number 4.
Speaking of Montas, last night, old Frankie was in full effect. Had it all working, 96, 97, 98 mile an hour heater all night long in the zone, forcing the action. Tidy little slider as well. You want to talk about a guy taking advantage of an opportunity. Frankie Montas has been lights out.
3-0 with a 1.25 ERA now for Frankie Montas after his performance last night, where he pitched into the 8th inning. Well, he is lined up, and we don't know what's going to happen. He's lined up to pitch on Thursday, a day game against the Astros. Now that certainly could change. He could slide back a little bit. The A's have an off day on Monday as well. And with Cahill missing this start, but not expected to miss any more starts. See what the A's plans are for the Astros series. And then after that, the Angels.
Well, we've seen teams manipulate that disabled list. The ability to shuffle guys from 3A to the big leagues in an effort to kind of work out that 6-man rotation at times if you need.
Yeah, that's what the Angels have done quite a bit of this year.
Yeah.
And a couple guys that they've been able to go up and down from AAA.
Barria.
Yeah. Look at that glove.
1945. That's an oldie.
Oldie but a goodie.
Didn't know they had the trapeze style back then, huh? Kind of looks like old Pat Vendette's glove as well.
That's true. Yeah, got to use him. You never know when you need it for the left hand or the right. What do you think? Give me a decade on that glove.
Oh man. I'm going to say
40s and 50s.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm
totally guessing right there. That is a good-looking glove, though. Looks like there was a slot there for a couple fingers. A little bit different than what the fellas are using now.
It doesn't look like it took much to break that in.
3-2 pitch right on the outside corner, strike 3 call. So another good inning for Bassett, and he's retired 6 in a row.
By Kelly Moore Paints. Go where the pros go. Kelly Moore, the painter's paint store.
All right, see if the A's can get something going against Danny Duffy. They have not been able to do that so far. They had 2 on and 1 out in the 2nd inning. And that's the only time they've got a runner in scoring position. Duffy with 2 walks and 7 strikeouts through 5 innings. He's sitting at 73 pitches. That one's hit to left. It's hit pretty well. Gordon's going back, though, and he's going to have room as it kind of hangs up there. So 1 out.
Let's go back to that smart play brought to you by your California Ford dealers. And this is that double replay we had. Ole just off the bag tries to execute the tag. They get the play at home. And while Ole's unable to get Orlando, they do get Escobar sliding in at home. Begley with a nice tag. You're saving first. You're out at home. The Oakland A's, let's go hit.
So a big play. It would have been 2-0. But not enough there to overturn that play at the plate, and Escobar was out. Fastball a little bit high. I think the thing to keep an eye on in this game, Dallas, we're in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Royals have a terrific closer who's having a good year.
Yes.
What they have struggled with is getting to Herrera. Now they're not winning a lot of games, but my point is from starter to closer, the 7th inning, 8th inning guy, that's where they have a void.
Right.
They don't have somebody that's there to do it, step in. So what you'd like to do is to get into that bullpen before Herrera, because Herrera's been great. So you keep an eye on Duffy's pitch count. It's the bottom of the 6th. He's at 78. He's a guy that can go as much as 113. That's his high. So he's got pitches left.
And we're creeping. It's the 3rd time through the order here for Danny Duffy. Guys hitting 300 against him third time through the order. Drops a nice little changeup on Jed there for strike 3.
It's been a good pitch for him today.
Yourself 2-2 count. You got to be aware of that 93, 95.
Number 2, Chris.
This is actually a backdoor slider. That's some nice depth on it.
So 2 outs for Chris Davis. Chris Davis toward left, but it's in the ballpark, and that is a very easy inning for Danny Duffy. He needed just 8 pitches to get through the 8s in the bottom of the 6th.
America's first hybrid minivan. Test drive one today.
The Paramount Theater in downtown Oakland always looks good. Here at the Coliseum, a pitcher's duel, 1-0. The Royals lead, and it is the 7th inning. So Chris Bassett back to work. He'll face Escobar, Goins, and Orlando, with Danny Coulombe, the left-hander, starting to throw in the bullpen. First pitch is inside. Bassett with 5 strikeouts. He's walked just 1. The only run for the Royals came in the 2nd inning. Goins with a double. Orlando with the base hit to knock him in. Down the right field line. It's a very long run for Piscotti. It'll drop foul.
Bassett has settled in very nicely. Talked about him trying to get a handle on that curveball. Has definitely done so. Take a look at Danny Coulombe, the lefty, getting going. Former Texas Tech Red Raider.
How'd you know that?
Alumni.
Marcus on the backhand. Straightens up. Throws all the money. So that's out number 1. Let's check back in with Cara.
Guys, our athletics are dynamic on the diamond and off the diamond. Take Chad Pinder, for example. He's been working closely with the School of Imagination out in Dublin, California here. It's a special needs school where special need kids can work alongside their peers to get a great education. In fact, just a couple weeks ago, Chad went out to the school, had a great time playing with the kids, he told me before the game today. They even presented him with a poster celebrating his first career Grand Slam. He said that's a keepsake he will treasure forever. Now, if the School of Imagination sounds familiar to you fans, that's where Stephen Vogt and his family used to volunteer. When Vogt left the A's, he knew of Pinder's involvement with the Special Olympics back in his college days, called up Chad, and the connection was made. The School of Imagination is going to be the A's nonprofit of the game next Saturday, the 16th. They'll have their booth up in the community hub behind section 218. You can learn more information there. And Chad Pinder will be signing autographs starting around around 11 o'clock. With a $30 donation to the School of Imagination, you can get a ball or a hat signed. So very cool to see our athletics doing some good work, just not on the field, but off the field as well. Guys, back up to you.
All right, thanks, Carl. Nicely done, and nicely done by Chad Pinder.
Yeah,
one of the good guys.
And what that does is I think it speaks a lot to the character of one, Stephen Vogt, to the character of Chad Pinder, being able to pick up that phone call, have that, I'm sure, brief conversation, because there's just an understanding between those two men and lots of other men in this game of baseball. Community means a lot.
Well, Stephen Vogt, I believe he's out for the year, is he not?
He is out for the year, unfortunately, with a shoulder injury.
They're having a lot of fun in Milwaukee. The Brewers are 39-25, and they have the best record in the National League.
Yeah.
Stephen Vogt on the disabled list. I told Stephen Vogt when he was acquired by the Brewers, and what she said, I said, "You are the perfect fit for Milwaukee. They're going to love you."
He is. I mean, they'd love him anywhere.
Yeah, well, that's true. You're right. Something about Vogt in Milwaukee. Just,
right.
It just fits. Slap toward left. Pinder's right there. 2 outs here in the 7th. Well, whatever Chris Bassett's doing, it's working. What do you like about his performance today?
Well, again, the ability to get in control of that curveball and that cutter, not only for strikes early, but for expansion and outs later. He's done a good job of getting the fastball down in the zone early in the counts, riding it up in the zone higher than high at times, like that at bat against Salvador Perez. So he's just done a nice job of reeling it all in very early on and settling in and executing a game plan.
Well, he's got to be gaining confidence with every pitch.
Well, and to your point, Kai, you can see the frustration with the head shake. He doesn't execute first pitch breaking ball for a strike, and that's just a sign that he has gotten comfortable even in this short amount of time during this outing. He's expecting certain things of himself.
So 1-1 the count to Paulo Orlando, the 8th place hitter. Hit that one off his foot, so he's going to go for a little stroll. Actually off his shin, and that'll hurt.
It's going to leave a mark. We'll have a compression sleeve on that later today.
And like you're saying that, it's true. It's going to leave a big mark. Like tomorrow, he's going to have like some multicolored knot on his shin, right?
Yeah, I mean, guys have knots from balls they hit off their leg back in high school.
Good pitch, right on the corner, 92 miles an hour.
Take a look.
Oh,
that's up high right off that shin bone.
It's going to be a Rob Manfred signature on your shin. 1-2 pitch. Big curveball struck him out swinging. Strikeout number 6 for Bassett. We have reached the 7th inning stretch in Oakland. 1-0 Royals. 2011, Dallas, the A's fired Bob Guerin and hired Bob Melvin as their manager. Melvin now in 8th season here in Oakland, a couple of AL West division titles, a wild card berth, manager of the year in 2012. But that day, Dallas, you were there.
Yep.
I was there.
Yep.
It was such a strange day. There was just so much going on. We'll talk about the flight getting into Chicago, which was a nightmare. But we wake up in the morning and find out that Bob Guerin is fired and Bob Melvin is on his way to Chicago. We didn't get to the hotel till like 7 in the morning. Bob Melvin was there, shaking everybody's hand. So you saw tough son, Moustakis makes the catch. So you were involved with a manager getting fired in the middle of the year. What's that like for a player?
It's awkward. We'll start there. It's very awkward. You don't know how to react, what to say. Do you say anything at all? And that's all dependent upon the interactions and the relationships you've developed over the course of time, over the course of the season. And so for me, I thank Bob for the opportunity, because obviously
Bob Guerin.
Correct. Yeah. Bob Guerin. He was here as I got my major league call up. Jason Kindle was probably responsible for more of that than anybody. So I did. I thanked him for the opportunity, wished him well, knew that I'd see him later down the road.
Chapman with a base hit. Chapman with 2 singles and a walk. And he is the tying run.
But it's funky because you're not sure what sort of mindset the other man is coming into the room with. Is he going to be the guy that puts his arm around you and talks you into this transition? Is he going to put his foot up your backside and force you into this transition? Like there's a lot of apprehension. There's a feeling out process that has to occur.
So you did not know Bob Melvin.
I didn't know Bob. I couldn't have picked Bob Melvin out of a one-man lineup.
You knew his name and you knew that who he was, but
and when he shows up, and I say this today, and I mean this, one of the single largest regrets in my career was not being able to take the mound for Bob Melvin and pitch for Bob Melvin. Just having developed the relationship and the trust and the camaraderie I had as a payroll bandit in his clubhouse, him affording me the opportunity to show up day in and day out, try to get better. But he just grabbed the attention of the entire clubhouse. He's an individual who commands the respect of a clubhouse.
Absolutely.
Doesn't demand it, but he walks in, he starts to talk, you listen, you stop what you're doing, and you pay attention.
Well, if you demand it, that doesn't mean you're going to get it.
Correct.
If you command it,
that's just something
then you will get it.
Yes.
He's a good man. But that was an odd day. Very odd. And the A's were in the middle of a losing streak, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
Bob was just trying to get to know who was who. We still chuckle with Bob about it. He was looking at the back of the uniforms to see who was who. Who's that guy? Oh, that's Braden. Okay. That's the perfect game guy. All right. Piscotty, a good rip on 3-1. So 3-2. So the action in the bullpen for the A's. Chris Bassett at 93 pitches probably finished, and he was great. And the A's pitching has been lights out in this series. They got to get the offense going today. 3-2 pitch. Chapman goes, and it's low ball 4. So Piscotty walks, and now you got 2 on and 1 out. So that is walk number 3. Have a meeting at the mound, and maybe a good time to have a meeting is at 89 pitches, and they're moving around quickly out in the bullpen for the Royals. So Kevin McCarthy, right-hander, is the first guy to get up. So Pinder is 0 for 2. First pitch to Pinder, and he goes after it and fouls it back to the screen.
And right now, if you're the Oakland A's, I like that approach from Chad Pinder. Danny Duffy nearing the end of his rope. He's going to want to be able to finish this thing, and how? Getting back to what he's done well today, using the fastball. So if you're the Oakland A's, get up there looking aggressive.
There's that changeup. When you see 84, 80 miles an hour, 83, that's the changeup, and it's been a good one today.
And that's off that 95-mile-an-hour heater kite. We're talking 12, 13 miles an hour difference in velocity.
He may throw it again. 0-2 pitch, and he went with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball and on 3 pitches. And you know what? With the changeup on the second pitch, this pitch here clocked at 95. It probably looked 98.
Yeah, no doubt. And again, great arm speed out of Danny Duffy. And to my point, all 3 of those pitches, pretty fat in the strike zone.
Right in the middle.
So he's done messing around. He wants to be able to finish this thing and turn it over to the bullpen.
So first pitch changeup to Fegley, and he missed it. So when you're getting swing throughs on changeups, that means you got a good one going.
Well, it's great sequencing here. First pitch fastball, last at bat taken. Second pitch changeup swung at for a strike, so he flips the script. First pitch changeup, he gets the aggressive swing from Fegley. Tries to double it up here. Good chance they go back with the heater now. And this is all about that gas and brake game we talk about. Speed them up, slow them down.
Chapman at second, Piscotty at first. Good speed out there for the A's. Swing and a miss, another changeup. So if you were Danny Duffy here, we're not trying to help him get Fegley out, but from a pitcher standpoint, would you say, all right,
I'd take
let's go fastball and then back to a change, or would you go right to a change?
I'd take a look at that swing, and he just bought himself another changeup.
And you're right.
And now, depending on what Sal's thinking, you take a look at his setup, maybe. Fegley's setup in the box. Has he gotten closer to the plate? Is he trying to move up in the box, take away something? And if not, now I think if you're Danny Duffy, you can absolutely beat him inside with a fastball.
Salvador Perez wants it down and away, and it was moved toward the inner half, but it was 95 miles an hour.
And I think that's I think he got away with one. If he does happen to execute that fastball out and away, I think Fegley might be on it. So while it's a miss by Duffy, I think he did get away with one there. Fegley looks like he's looking out over the heart of the plate.
Another 2-2 pitch. Here it is. And a high fastball, and Fegley swings and misses. 10th strikeout, and it's a big one for Danny Duffy. We are headed to the 8th.
Try our delicious sides, including the new Sriracha Lime Tempura Green Beans. Visit habitburger.com for a location near you.
So we have reached the 8th inning of a 1-0 game. Royals lead. Danny Duffy's been very good. And again, nursing the 1-0 lead. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and smog expert. So Danny Coulombe comes in, facing Ramon Torres. First pitch is a little high. So Bassett, 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 run. And he will not get a W today.
See there, you take a look at the bottom. A little bit of reverse split action for Danny Coulombe. More success against the righties.
And Ramon Torres is out.
Coulombe on to face Torres, the switch hitter, put him over on the right side. Followed up with Merrifield.
Now batting, number 15.
Crowd today is 16,208. 16208 at the Coliseum.
Came to get their Kelly Green lids.
That's right. Tomorrow it'll be Brad Keller against Sean Manaea. Keller is a right-hander. The A's will have Monday off and host the Houston Astros Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. It's a big week next week. You also host the Angels. Yep. 1-0 to Whit Merrifield, who's 1 for 3. A's bullpen, last 11 home games, a 1.63 ERA.
That is really becoming a staple for the Oakland A's. Arms down there you can turn to. Clutch situations. We talk a lot about Trevino. And now he's sort of grabbed that 8th inning role. But I mean, guys like Petit give you multiple innings, different spots in the ball game. A lot of guys down there want the ball, give you as many outs as they can get. And that's the kind of mentality you like out of a bullpen. I know we talk a lot about roles and what that can do for the mentality of a guy. Up big, down big, doesn't matter. They just want the ball. They want the opportunity to go get outs. And when you take that mindset into the ball game, that's where you start to see success to the tune of those numbers.
More action for Piscotty, a long run, and he makes the catch right near the line.
Today, the story is about Chris Bassett. And we knew from the onset the stuff can play. It's about figuring it out, being able to mix it up with confidence. And if he was going to be ahead of hitters, we knew that the breaking ball was going to be able to play, and that was the case. Cutter, curveball later in the game, not only for strikes, but for putaways. Depth in the zone. A tremendous 2018 debut for Chris Bassett.
Here's Moustakas, who's 0 for 3. He's hit 3 line drives and has absolutely 0 to show. So Bassett finished with 93 pitches, a walk and 6 strikeouts. Right on the outside corner strike. Now the A's bullpen as a whole this year has a 3.55 ERA. That's 4th best in the American League, behind Houston, Boston, and the Yankees. So kind of coming together. And look at the amount of innings pitched. The A's have the 4th most bullpen innings pitched, but one of the teams ahead of them is the Rays, which again is a little bit of a skewed number with what the Rays are doing.
Yeah, their rotation manipulation.
Angels, Tigers are ahead of the A's as far as bullpen innings pitched. Team with the least bullpen innings, the Cleveland Indians. Cleveland and Houston have the fewest bullpen innings. No surprise, they
Pretty
both
good
have a great rotation.
Yeah, pretty good starting rotations. Each up 6, 7, 8 innings at a time. Alleviate a lot of pressure and stress from that bullpen.
Swing and a miss. Good slider from Coulombe and a good inning. Bottom of the 8th coming up. 1-0 Royals.
Reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
Let's look at our game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. 1-3-0 for the Royals, 0-3-1 for the Athletics. Both starters great. Danny Duffy went 7, Chris Bassett went 7, and the only run in the game, a Paulo Orlando RBI single in the 2nd inning. Duffy finished with 10 strikeouts in his 7 innings. So to the bullpen for Kansas City as they bring in the right-hander Kevin McCarthy. McCarthy's first pitch, a slider first, right? So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. Pretty good numbers for McCarthy, 4-2, 3.08. He's not a huge strikeout guy, more of a ground ball pitcher, but he's the bridge right now between the closer and the starter. Duffy was very good.
And that's not something you typically see these days. Guys down in the bullpen, late game guys back into the bullpen roles. Usually a lot of swing and miss, a lot of firepower down there. Later in the game, you don't necessarily want to pitch to contact. Tight ball game. If you have the ability to eliminate a hitter with the man on the mound, you'd like to take it.
Bouncer. Torres waits. He's got to hurry, and he fires across to Moustakas, 1 away. Final line for the left-hander Danny Duffy, 7 innings. Shutout baseball, 3 walks and 10 strikeouts. Again, hard to believe the ERA is 5.81. He's got some really good stuff.
Well, and again, the old #1 was working today, and it becomes redundant. You talking about how important the fastball is, but really we saw that changeup open up 2nd and 3rd time through the lineup, and it's doing part to that fastball, something they just could not give up on.
So we got a pinch hitter. It's Dustin Fowler hitting for Canna. Fowler 2 for 8 with a home run in this series, trying to get aboard. Rolls that one foul past Al Pedrique. So 0-2. Lowry to follow. For the A's, Blake Trinan starts to throw. 0-2 pitch, and that's a swing and a miss. 93, but it was working its way away from Fowler.
A bit of that arm side run we talk about so much. Again, not a
second baseman,
ton of swing and miss out of McCarthy.
Lowry.
Might be that one seamer. See that one seam splitting the baseball right down the middle.
Well, the A's have struck out 11 times today, 9 times swinging, twice looking. Way inside to Jed Lowry. Lowry is 0 for 3. He's 0 for his last 12 as Yusmeiro Petit joins Trinan. You'd love to see Chris Davis get an at-bat here. If Chris Davis gets an at-bat, well, then he's going to represent the go-ahead run, whatever happens to Lowry. Whether Lowry gets on or hits a home run. This one's hit high in the air to right field, but playable for Dozier. Bright sunshine, Dozier has it. And Kevin McCarthy with a 3-up, 3-down, bottom of the 8th.
Enjoy an early July 4th with the Oakland A's for the July 3rd Patriotic Fireworks Show presented by Chevrolet. You can now win a free suite to the ballgame. That's right, a free suite. You and 11 of your closest homeboys simply text BOOM to 60946. The contest will last through June 18th. Message and data rates do apply, so again, simply text BOOM to 60946. See complete rules at athletics.com.
Okay. Yusmeiro Petit comes on, and he drives the first pitch he sees towards Fowler in center. Fowler grabs it just in the game after pinch hitting for Cannon. So Perez is the first out. I think sometimes you try to get a rally going earlier than the bottom of the 9th, maybe a rally cap or something.
You got to. You do what you need to do. You do what you got to do. Okay, really.
Yeah, just something to think about. How's mine look? Good?
Outstanding, per usual.
Yeah. Because mine is sitting on top of my headset, which is weird. Yours is sitting on top of another hat, which is weird.
All in the name of runs. All in the name of runs.
The things you do to get the offense going.
That's right.
Come on.
You got to. It's a collective effort. It's a team effort.
When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. So we're doing what we need to do for a 9th inning rally.
I'm sure there's some fans out there that understand. They'll get one going next half inning, no doubt.
We're just trying to get it going a little early. So Fowler in the game immediately gets some action.
Funny how that happens, huh?
Swing and a miss, 1-2. Coulombe goes 1 inning. So he had 1 strikeout, all the rest zeros. Full shift on for Alex Gordon. And he drives him to right. That could be trouble. And man, is that a big run. That is a huge run with Chris Davis scheduled to lead off the bottom of the ninth. So Gordon, his 5th home run of the year.
Well, this is Chrysler drive of the game. He gets himself a fastball up in the zone.
17, Hunter Dozier.
You can see that hip open up early. Does a good job of getting on plane with that elevated fastball. And speaking of insurance runs, right just left of the State Farm sign.
That's the 5th home run that Petit has allowed. So 2-0 Kansas City here in the top of the ninth. Dozier takes a strike on the outside corner. Hunter Dozier's 0 for 3. A couple of strikeouts and a ground out. Dozier 2 for 10 in the series. Dozier getting a chance to take over for Eric Hosmer, which are giant shoes to fill.
Oh yeah. Talking about the face of the franchise departing. Him and Salvador, 1 and 1A. Sal Perez.
And Dozier, #1 draft pick, the 8th overall pick in 2013. So you're going to get a shot if you get picked that high.
He's a guy.
He's a big fella, 6'4", 220 pounds, 26 years old. Fouls that one straight back.
Take a look at StatCast. The numbers on that long ball, 102.6 off the bat, 31-degree launch angle. That tells you why it went so far, 418 feet away from home plate.
Pitch, and he just missed a 1-out walk. So Bassett walked just 1, so that's the 2nd walk issue. Now we're going to have a pinch runner. It's going to be Abraham Almonte.
Your attention, please. Number 45, Abraham Almonte.
Almonte will
running for
no doubt
Dozier.
stay in the game in the outfield.
Now batting, number 2, Alcides Escobar.
So Almonte, good speed, obviously takes over for Dozier. Alcides Escobar is 0 for 2. He walked in the 4th.
Check over on Almonte. Never know, might be an opportunity for Ned Yost. Try to tack another one on, try to create some offense, put the game in motion. Escobar can handle the bat at home plate. You've got a hole on the right side of the infield.
First pitch is in for a strike to Alcides Escobar. Royals have 30 stolen bases on the year. That's 9th in the American League. You're used to the Royals being in the top 3 or 4 in stolen bases, but a little different personnel now than they had a couple years ago.
Think about Gerard Dyson.
Yeah. Fowler goes back. Now he comes in and he's got it. Now Monte tags up and bluffs going to second, but that's out number 2. And Ryan Goins will hit. Kelvin Herrera is warming up. He's about ready to go out in the bullpen.
Number 1, Ryan Goins.
So we will see, obviously, the Royals closer in the 9th inning.
He's been pretty good, Kipe.
Yeah. That's why that home run for Gordon is huge. It just allows your closer, if he really has to, just say, here, I got to throw a strike here.
Here it is.
You know, you're allowed a little leeway when you have a 2-run lead, especially with somebody like Chris Davis leading off the next half inning. 1-0 to Ryan Goins, who doubled and scored in the 2nd, grounded out in the 4th, hit a fly ball to left in the 7th. A little bit low. Now Goins played a fair amount for the Blue Jays for a couple years.
Utility guy around the infield.
The Royals also signed Lucas Duda in the offseason, but he's on the disabled list. Big first baseman. Well, Monte may have been going in a close play.
Caught him leaning. And Petit's done a great job of holding the ball, varying looks. Looks like he got that hand in there.
It's got to be a bad feeling for a runner when you take that one step and then you realize that they're coming over.
And you can pretty much see that pitcher's heel come up and turn, and you know you're headed in the wrong direction.
Petit doing a pretty good job by just holding a long look, which sometimes is better than a good move to first.
Right. And they tell you hold, 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 and they tell you hold for 3 seconds and realistically count to 5, because out there things tend to speed up on you.
Outside, and now it's 3-0. On deck is Orlando.
But what you don't want to happen is you don't want to get sidetracked and distracted by that man over there at first base. Ultimately, you've got an out to get. That's at home. You got 2 outs. Focus back in and try to get this guy at the dish now.
And what's in there? First strike. The Rays still leading the Mariners. It's 6-3 in the 7th inning. Astros and Rangers will play a little bit later on. Long rain delay with the Angels and the Twins in Minnesota, but they have just started that game. More action for Fowler. Fowler's got it. So we are headed to the bottom of the 9th. Jordan's home run has made it a 2-0 game.
California is brought to you by Toyota. Designed for the grind that designed for the grind that comes through every time. See your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. By Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. By Xfinity. X1 will change the way you experience TV. By SoFi, a modern finance company. And by Cresco, your #1 choice for tool and equipment rental with 19 stores to serve you in Northern California.
So the A's trailing by 2 going to the bottom of the 9th. They'll face Kelvin Herrera when it's time for change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Your trusted oil change, tune-up, and small experts. So the numbers for Herrera are very good. He's blown just 1 save, and he has not walked a batter all year. How about that, Dallas?
He has been outstanding. Only 2 earned runs surrendered the entire season as well from Herrera. Obviously a part of that original 3-headed monster.
So Abraham Almonte staying in the game. He's in right field. Davis, Olson, and Chapman. So the big power hitters up to face Kelvin Herrera. 1 pitch. Popped up, shallow left. Escobar backpedaling. He says, I got it. And then it's Gordon at the last minute who calls off Escobar for the first out. So 1 away. So the story today
Now batting first baseman
is Danny Duffy.
Number 28.
Danny Duffy, 10 strikeouts, settled in nicely. Saw that from both guys today. Both arms struggled a little bit, spraying the ball early on, settled back down into the zone. Danny Duffy with the changeup and the slider. Chris Bassett, great job as well with his cutter, his curveball. Well-pitched ball game on both sides.
First pitch strike to Matt Olson. Olson a single, a strikeout, and a pop-out. Herrera pitched on Thursday night. He pitched the 8th inning. And that was obviously not a save situation. The A's won the game. The reason he was in is he hadn't pitched in a while.
Get those guys some work.
9th save opportunity in the Royals' last 35 games.
He's 13 of 14 on the year.
Yeah.
Just a matter of getting that opportunity.
Remember when he first came up, he was getting close to triple digits with his velocity.
Oh, it's fuzzy.
He hasn't lost much.
Yeah, it is fuzzy, no doubt.
1-2 pitch. He runs that one off the plate. That was off speed at 88. Three hits for the Athletics, 4 hits for the Royals. Another off speed. That one drops down and in. Sean Manaea will pitch tomorrow. He'll take a 5-6 record into that start. 3-2 pitch. He went right back to 98 and he gets the strikeout. So he messed around with off speed on 1-2 and on 2-2, and when he got to 3-2 he said, that's enough.
Well, you mentioned it, and it's a good chance, Kipe. He doesn't have to worry about the ball game being tied up here with one swing. Here's my 98.
He may throw a different pitch there if it's 1-0. Who knows?
Absolutely.
But that one worked. So 2 away. Here's Matt Chapman. First pitch, slider for a strike. Chapman has walked and singled twice, so 2 for 2. Another slider, and that one called the ball a little bit low.
I'm scared to think that Herrera could be getting a feel for separating velocity on that pitch, harder, slower.
Yeah, he's been around a while, but he may be better now than he was 3 years ago. So 1-2. If Chapman could get on, Piscotty would hit. See what Salvador Perez wants to go with.
See there, the last sign he put down was a fastball. Looks like they're going changeup.
That one is fair. It's knocked down at third by Torres. And the A's are going to get the tying run to the plate. So it'll be a base hit, a broken bat single.
Well, that's all you can hope for against a guy like Herrera. 17 hits in 23 1/3 innings. Odds are not in your favor. Chapman finds himself out in front. That's what happens. You keep the hands back. You give yourself an opportunity to get back to ball. Chapman's able to hook this down the line. Good effort over there by Torres to knock it down.
First pitch to Piscotty is a strike. Piscotty is 0 for 2. He walked in the 7th inning. Just a little bit low. Wasn't low by a lot. Matt Chapman with his third 3-hit game of the year. 3 singles and a walk. A hanger. Maybe a little backup slider.
A little bit. Piscotty had one thing on his mind and one thing only. Jumping ship. He wanted to tie this ball game up. Backup slider.
1-2 pitch. Check swing, and he rolls it foul. Shifted toward right center. Herrera shakes once. Now he is ready. 1-2 pitch, a slider down and away. Nicely blocked by Salvador Perez. How about this block? Nice and calm, huh?
That's what he does. He's a wall back there.
Yeah, no problem. Not that easy.
No, makes it look very easy.
Two pitch, got him swinging, and that's the ball game. So Herrera comes in. He finishes the 9th. He gets his 14th save, and Danny Duffy outpitches Chris Bassett. Tough luck loser this afternoon is Chris Bassett. He was pretty good.
He was outstanding. Settled in very nicely. Just wasn't able to get it done was the offense. Tremendously pitched ball game on both sides.
So 2 hours and 27 minutes, 16,208 saw it, and the Kansas City Royals shut out the Oakland A's this afternoon by a final score of 2-0. Time now for A's post-game live. Let's go to the guys in the studio.